Hello, friends. Welcome to this session. In this session, we will study the strength of the column and also Euler's formula. And basically, strength of column is important when we are designing any member or any type of the structure. So we have to judge how much strength of the column when there are stresses or when the loads are applied in terms of the compressive, in terms of the buckling type of the stresses are induced in the column. So how much the loads and the stresses are resist by the column. So in terms of that, it is the strength of the column we have to try to understand here. And also in the previous video lecture, we have gone through the theoretical part of the Euler's theory, also the assumptions and limitations, and also the sign convention for the bending moment, convexity, convectivity, so that we can take the sign convention also for the Euler's theory. So in this particular video, we will first of all study the strength of the column and then Euler's formula and their derivation. So very first, the strength of the column is basically depends upon the slenderness ratio. As we know that the slenderness ratio is the ratio of unsupported length and the least lateral dimensions. So if the slenderness ratio is increased, the compressive strength of the column is decreases. Okay, so it is opposite in nature. When slenderness ratio increases, the compressive strength of column is decreased as a tendency to buckle is increased. So if the slenderness ratio is increased, the buckling of the column is also increased, or tendency to buckle is increased. The strength of the column depends upon the end conditions also. Okay, so whether your end conditions are fixed supports are there, both the ends are hinge support, or one end is fixed, other end is hinge. So like that, the end conditions are vary. So depending upon the end conditions, the strength of column is also vary. Basically, the strength of columns depends upon the end conditions. So there are following four different end conditions are there. So it also this particular end conditions are also affect to the strength of column. So first end condition is both end pin jointed or hinge or rounded or free, right? So both the ends, if it is a pin jointed or hinge jointed, so in that case this particular end conditions are also affect to the strength. Also in other way, end conditions may like this: one end is fixed, other end is free, right? So this is a one of the case for end condition. And also third important end condition is one end is fixed and other end is pin jointed or hinge jointed. And last one, fourth, both the ends of the columns are fixed or rigidly fixed, we can say. It is rigid. So this is also one of the conditions for the column. So these all the four conditions are invariably contributed to the strength of column. Next one, we will derive the Euler's formula. Basically, we studied that Euler's formula is important for the long column, which only buckling stresses or bending stresses are induced into the column. So in that case, in the long column, we are using the Euler's formula or Euler's theory. So here it is, the figure is drawn, the column is there, you can see the vertical column AB, and there are stresses, compressive type of the forces, we can say. Compressive loads are acting on both the direction of the column, and because of this compressive load, this column is buckled or bent with a deflection. So in the figure you can see there is a deflection from the original position. Originally the column is straight vertical, initial center line, but after application of the compressive load, the column will bend or buckle with the magnitude of y. It is a lateral displacement, right? And xx is the x-axis of the column. It is any axis it is taken to the cross section of the column. Capital L is the length of the column, and this x-axis is the location of that x-axis is x distance from the A end or A point. The distance of that axis is x. So x-axis is the any axis. It is drawn to the length of the column. So consider the column AB of a length L. So this column AB, whose length is capital L, with uniform cross section area. Suppose if you assume that uniform cross sectional area of the column is capital A. Let P is equal to crippling load. We already knows that crippling load is nothing but the buckling load, right? Or crushing load, we can say. So crippling load at which the column just buckle, the crippling load at which just the column is just buckle or bend. Consider a section x6 at a distance x from end A. So we have taken any section, any axis x6 at a distance of x from the end A. Let y be the lateral displacement, or we can say the lateral deflection at this section. Moment due to critical load P or a crippling load P about x, that is, if you find out that section AB, section XX, the moment, so in that way the moment the load is there, critical load is there P, and we can say the perpendicular distance or the lateral displacement is y. So you can determine the moment about x is capital M is equal to minus P into y. So P is a crippling load multiplied by perpendicular distance, that is y, and because of this anti-clockwise, that's why we have taken is the minus. So minus Py is the moment acting about the x. So consider a section. The bending moment equation at any point is given by, so already we know that if you find out the bending moment equation, so if you take the any section throughout the length of the column, so bending moment at any section we can write as a EI into d2y divided by dx square. So this equation is there. This is the bending moment equation at any given point or at any section. So we can write the bending moment equation is equal to bending moment we determine minus P into y. P is the crippling load, y is the displacement. So EI d2y divided by dx square plus Py. If you take in the left side this Py, it is taken as a positive, is equal to 0. So if you solve this particular differential equation, so you will get the values, or the value of y is as like this. So this differential equation you need to solve, and you come up with the outcome, that is a solution, and that value of the y is C1 cos x under root of P upon EI plus C2 sin x into under root of P upon EI. So this is the solution we will get after solving this differential equation, which includes the two constants. One is C1, another is the C2, where C1 and C2 are the constant of integrations. So these C1 and C2 are the two constants of the integration. These constants can be evaluated from the end conditions of the column. So already we know that end conditions, this particular formula we are derived for the assuming that ends are hinge supports, or we can say the hinge ends are there. From that assumptions we have derived this Illois formula. So you can see at A the deflection is 0. From the figure you can see at A and at B the deflection value is 0. Okay, at A and at B deflection value is 0. So means if you consider the end conditions, means at A the deflection, if it is 0, then x value is 0 and y value is also 0, then automatically your C1 is equal to 0, right? At B the deflection is 0. At B the deflection is 0, means your x value is capital L, total length of the column, and y is 0, means at B also there is a displacement is 0. And if you put into this, you will get the equation like this: 0 is equal to C2 sin L under root of P upon L EI. So from this solution, we can understand that since C1 is 0, the C2 will not be 0. If it is a C1 is 0, C2 will not be 0, means because if C1 and C2 are both the values are 0, then there will not be any displacement throughout the column when there is a compressive loads are acting. But actually in the existence, actually on the side, this will not happen, definitely there is a buckling, there is a bending it is takes place. That's why both the values will not be 0, means both constants will not be 0. So the column is not in the bend configuration, that is y is equal to 0 everywhere. So this will not happen. Y something value is there, y value is 0 only at the ends, at A and at B, at hinge ends where bending moment is 0. In that case the displacement is also 0. So you can take it sin L in under root of P upon EI is equal to 0. So it gives that if you take this, if you solve L into under root of Pi, it will take n pi, and where n value is other than 0, means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this n value may be taken as this, but other than 0. So considering the first or least practical value, so if you consider the least practical value of n is 1, it is a least value. So if you put that least value in this equation, you will get L under root of P upon EI is equal to pi. So because n value is taken as 1, so if you solve further, you'll get P upon EI under root is equal to pi upon L. So if you take the squaring or both the sides, we will solve further, then we will get the equation like this: P is equal to pi square EI divided by L square. So basically you have to solve this particular equation, and you have to come up with the value of crippling load or critical load. And finally we can also write this P is equal to pi square EI divided by L E square. So instead of L is the total length, you have to take the effective length or equivalent length. So that's why small e is taken, L E is the effective length or equivalent length, right? So this is the equation of the crippling load, or we can say the buckling load, this pi square EI divided by L E square. And in this particular equation this I is minimum always. So whatever the two moment of inertia are there, moment of inertia about xx, ixx and iyy. So from both of these, least value you can take as a I, that is a I minimum. So this I is always I minimum from ixx or iyy, and take minimum value of I as it is. So this particular equation is the equation of the Euler's formula. It is also called as the Euler's formula or equation of the critical load P. I hope you understood this particular Euler's formula. This Euler's formula is basically only useful for the long columns whose length is large comparatively as compared to the lateral dimensions. Lateral dimensions may be diameters, may be breadth of the column. So like that, this applicable for the long columns. So this Euler's formula you have to remember, because based on that there are problems are there. We need to solve these problems depending upon the end condition. So this Euler's formula is derived when consideration of the end condition. These both the ends are hinge we have considered, and then we have solved, and this particular crippling load we have determined. Thank you very much for attending this session.